Hello. Hello, Emma.
Hello, everyone.
And guess who's
Kevin.
behind the box as well? Hello, Gerald.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, last time we spoke to Emma, it felt right that the three of us were together. So I'm so pleased that we can all be together again to discuss this beautiful deck.
Okay. I got mine. Wait a second. Here.
Dream of Night, and it is a dream. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck. So Emma, please get ready to have immense of wonderful things said about you. Okay, just saying that. Just get ready.
Get ready.
Because I have heard so many lovely things, and people who, when I said I was doing this live, have said so many gorgeous things. So welcome back to Nile Tarot, and I'm so thrilled to be sharing this one with you. And firstly, congratulations, because this is
thank you, and also thanks for inviting me back. I love this community, and I love you too.
You're so lovely. We're going to say hello to a few of the people who are in chat. If anybody has got any questions for Emma, happy to answer them, I believe. And Gerald as well, we can answer questions if we need to. It might be an idea, if you do own this deck, to have it to hand, because we're going to be finding out lots of wonderful anecdotes, stories, ideas behind it all. So I'll give you a moment to go and dig that. I mean, why wouldn't you have it in your hand the whole time? That's what I want to know.
That's true. Very good point.
But let's say hello to a few of our lovely people out there. She was first one in, but she can't stay for the whole thing. She's going to watch on replay. So hello, Orshi, if you're watching on replay. And Beth is here. Hello to you, my lovely. Good to see you here. She says, hello, Emma and Richard. And she, of course, she didn't know about you, Gerald.
She didn't. Nobody did.
Nobody did. Red Wing is here. I am feeling much better. And yes, thank you for allowing me to reschedule this, Emma, because...
Oh, no problem at all.
I couldn't have done it last week. So thank you for that one there. Nancy's here and has her Dream of Nile in hand. So thank you. Look, I can't do that. But
wait. How'd you get that effect? Can I get it too?
Yes.
Whoa.
Road of Macintosh. Yep.
One day Microsoft will catch up, won't they? Never mind. Okay. With a surprise appearance. Here we go. Who you're wrapped up, aren't you? It's very cold where you are at the moment, Gerald.
It is cold. It's about 24 where I am. So it's like 24 degrees Fahrenheit. So
there you go. So keeping warm. I like that one there.
Yes.
Lynn is here. Hello. She's saying hello to us all there. Hello, Lynn. Welcome back to you. Sarah is here as well. Hello, Sarah. Hi. Lovely to see you here. How am I going to pronounce that?
Oil painter. That's
oil
Diana.
Painter. Thank you so much.
It's oil painter Diana, also known as Goddess Diana, also known as Wonder Woman.
Wow.
I need to write all of that down.
I'll remind you.
Okay. Oil Painter Diana, you're very welcome here. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. The first compliments are coming in. Just got the deck in, and it's a stunner, says Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ange is here and says hello to everybody. Hello, Ange, to you. And I think, best apple on the earth there, the Macintosh. And our lovely Deanne has also joined us. Hello to you, Deanne. I hope you're well. And if you're just watching this, welcome. You're very welcome here. Thank you for watching. Right, let's get on with this because I don't want to waste a single second. Let's just go back. Now, we were talking just a bit beforehand. Was it a year ago or longer that we were discussing this little beauty?
Yeah, well... I think we were talking about second edition like a year ago, but like the first edition was like 2.5 years. I can't believe.
Yep.
I can't believe this thing has been 2 years. I was like, I don't know why I just created it. time just doesn't register the same way in my brain. But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know that Gerald has used this deck often, and I've often used it, particularly when we do readings online. It's been one of my favorites since I've had it. So I was super excited when you told us actually that you're working on another project. And I think you mentioned it was an Egyptian theme. And
Yes.
we both went, yeah, we're interested in that one.
Yes.
And so it's a joy to have this out. And we've got lots of questions we're going to ask you.
Oh, yes, please.
But I'm going to give you a chance, Emma, just to kind of talk a little bit about this. Your initial thoughts. Why did you decide to give us this wonderful Egyptian themed deck?
Thank you. Yeah. So the love for Egyptian is just rooted ever since I was a child, ever since I remember. I remember my parents went to a souvenir store, get 2 statues of ancient Egyptian couple. It's just a replica of, like their regular statue, like a mini one. Remember when I was a kid, I don't know why I loved that so much. My mom was saying like I just stared at for hours and hours and I want to touch it. And they're just like, no, like you're a kid, you're gonna destroy this. This is like a souvenir or whatever. So I remember that moment so vividly. And very interestingly, like I think 2 years ago, I started to have dreams about the ancient Egyptian god and goddesses. I put it in my journal. I didn't really think much. And at the time I was really stressed out about corporate life. And I was thinking about if there is any alternative I can, like make a living. And then during that time, because of my stress, I went to acupuncture weekly because I have to. It's just too stressful physically and mentally. And my acupuncturist is like, don't worry. Let me just put a needle right above your head. Like those really interesting channels and pressure points. I was like, okay, cute. So I can have a good sleep. But it was weird because I don't know, maybe the angle of the needle, whatever, it put me into a journey.
Yeah.
I fall asleep,
Wow.
but I went somewhere. And I saw it was so crystal clear, almost feel like a real life. I saw my feet. I was a man. I was doing something. I was like, I feel like I was holding paint. It was trying to paint a sarcophagus. Yeah. And then I was so shocked because I was like, is this alternative reality or whatever? I just couldn't explain. And then I wake up and I told him, he's like, oh, that's very interesting. He was like so calm. I was like, isn't that weird? He was like, yeah, like every time I put needle there, like people tell me like, crazy things.
Oh, wow.
I was like, Then yeah, it's just from there I started to have dreams and I started to have reoccurring visions. And then I even like went out of my way, did a QHHT quantum hypnosis, healing hypnosis session, just tried to figure out because it's kind of like starting to bother me. Because everything's just starting to come back. And then I realized, oh yeah, I used to live during that time in that region. I was a farmer. It was really cute. Like I lived literally across back then there was like a river by the pyramids. Of course, right now it doesn't exist. But I was like planting things across the river and watching like all the crazy stuff like happening during around pyramids. And and I also remember I had another life. I was actually, I will call myself craftsman. I don't think they really call the people like artists per se. But yeah, I was like working on tombs and stuff and trying to color things. I was like, that makes that makes sense. And then I was like, to honor that, it's like that explain why I long for anything Egyptian. I just don't know why. It touched my heart, and every time I see it, I just feel like I'm so moved. I don't know why, and I love it so much I can't explain. I'm like, okay, so I need to, I don't know. I feel like I should do something to kind of bring that ancient memory back because I do think a lot of souls actually experience that time. I'm not. I'm not exception. I think a lot of people are. I was like, oh, how about like we manifest something, from the past and really bring it to the current time frame. And also I was, because I love everything Egyptian. I'm not bashing other deck creators, but I feel like there's no tarot that actually really matching the god and their characteristics and their stories, like with tarot system. I was like, maybe I should do that.
There you go.
Yeah, I was like, okay. So maybe, that's why I keep having reoccurring dreams. So yeah, that's how I started it. So yeah.
So I was going to ask, before we start looking at the deck and having a look at some of the wonderful artwork, as you made this deck, did you have more kind of visions like this, or were you dropping in and out or having more dreams? And did anything happen sort of at the end of the completion of the deck that you felt that's the time to stop?
So I noticed one pattern. It's very interesting. I wonder, well, I guess that's how, okay, sorry, how to put it in a way that makes sense to everyone. Okay, so I think at least for me, I have to prove to the divine that, I'm willing to put into the effort to actually do this. So they test me for a while. So I actually drew a lot of cards beforehand. But none of them, I feel like, it really represents what it is. I don't know what's going on. And then I just keep drawing and keep listening to the translations of the Emerald of Thoth, and I keep studying. I even at the time I subscribed Gaia, so I can keep listening to all the ancient stories. They were talking about a lot of documentaries and a lot of people actually teaching ancient science. I was like, oh, this is what it is. And then one day, it's really weird. I heard a voice in my head. Apparently not mine. It's like a man's voice. He was like, you should stop eating meat. Because, I'm not 100% vegetarian. I eat less meat, but I still do. Did at the time. I was like, what do you mean? And then I was like, I'm willing to try because seriously, I want this to happen. So I stopped eating meat. And from then it was so weird. I rarely make any mistake when I drew these things, and I can split. It's weird. It's like a split of consciousness. You kind of give your body to somebody else to do this, and then my mind was learning all the ancient Egyptian fun facts, but my hand was just keep drawing. It was fascinating, and in the middle of the process, the full car showed up in the dream, just like dream vision, exact same thing. Because it's funny, I don't start with the full, because I feel like full is they grant you, they give you the beginning. So it's this is, they allow you to have that. I usually kind of start the full in the middle of the process, and it's always granted by vision. I never really think about what full will look like. I guess it will become a tradition. Maybe next one is still the same. But I do see a repeating pattern now, which is really fascinating. Yeah.
Fantastic. I just realized while you were talking about this, the title of your deck, and of course the title of your other deck of Dream Visions, makes perfect sense now. So it's Dream of the Nile, and in my head, I think if I dream of the Nile, going on holiday, going down a wonderful, but for you, Dream of the Nile is actually the physical dreams and getting those dreams and those channeling onto cards, isn't it?
Yeah. It's very interesting. It's not a concrete life. It's not because ancient Egyptians actually are very meticulous when it comes to this. They use mathematics for everything, including in their arts, their structures. Everything is proportional. But I'm trying to draw something that's intuitive side. If you dream about those gods, what would look like? Because some of them did appear in my dream. It's in an abstract form. It is not really concrete. It's not purely logical and numbered. But I was thinking this is, and also the inspiration comes from my aka acupuncture journey. I guess it's dream state. So yeah.
That's great. I love that your inspiration, it feels like it has come divinely inspired. And you've shown up and you have, when somebody says, stop eating meat, it's like, well, okay, I'm going to stop eating meat. And then lo and behold, things start to really unfold.
Manifest and happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does help with, it does help us to receive better. I mean, it's just what I noticed, like the change of my body. And it's easier for me to ground for some reason. And later on, I have to say, I was like, oh, I finished this deck. And I, I was attempting. I was like, So I actually tried like one meal. I got like anxiety attack, depressed. I was like, oh my God, I hate myself so much. It has nothing to do with, like, I didn't even realize it was because of the animal meat. It was just like my personal stuff just starting to come up and starting to be amplified. I was like, ooh, what's going on? Like, what did I do that? Because I haven't felt this way for a long time. And later on I realized, that's what I did. Because I was like, chicken wings are so good. And it's not worth it. Like I experienced once, it was really, really bad anxiety attack. And then I was like, this is not. And now I just run away. I was like, no.
Well, and I think what's really important, Emma, is you're noticing what works for you and you're leaning into that. You're paying attention to that. Not all of us do that. So kudos to you. So I mean, and let's face it, if you connecting in helps to make this happen, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. It's not for everyone, like, because scientifically, everybody has different body types. And
well, but I think the key thing is you're listening to your body, you're paying attention. That's the beauty in it. So it's like I can tell when I don't drink enough water, and then at that point it's too late. Then I'm going to be up all night. So.
Hello to everyone joining us. I'm just going to jump in and say Jonathan's here, Ren's here, other people are joining us. So thank you very much for that one there. I'm just going to go back on a few points before we have a look at the deck, if that's okay. Beth early on asked this question. I don't know how we feel about this, but she's asking us if at the end we would happily all pull a card each to do a reading for the collective. So I don't know if you're happy to do that. I'm happy to do that. But if you don't, Emma, that's absolutely fine. Gerald, if you don't, that's absolutely fine.
I'm good. I just have to mix my deck up again. But however, but let me just say, this deck is delicious to shuffle. Delicious. It is a lovely linen cardstock. Lovely. So I'll let Richie,
I'm just going to go to the bits and then we're going to open up and show some of our wonderful images. Sarah says, I have to say the Dream Visions is one of my favorite decks too. It's so pretty and so deep. Dreams of Nile is the same. I adore Egyptian mythology, so I'm very happy to have this wonderful deck.
Thank you.
Beth says, not being able to touch the souvenirs as a child probably made them feel even more sacred.
Yeah, don't touch those with your tiny hands, child. Don't touch those with your tiny hands. And I can do that because Jamie's not able to.
Jamie's not here. But Jamie as well, Wandering Mountain Bard, has been singing the praises about this deck as well. So, yes, there's a lot of love there. Anne says, Egyptology has always frightened me. My dad was very interested in Egyptology and was even teaching me to write in hieroglyphs before I could English. I think that was I think they were an exceptional race. I find Egyptology interesting, but I think it was Tutankhamun and mummy curses that frightened me as a child. That's often the way people get into it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And again, more love for the beautiful deck there.
Thank you.
Sarah says, just want to say thank you for making the prettiest Bassett card I've ever seen. She's always been one of my favorite goddesses. So let's go and have a look at some cards, shall we? I'm just going to say, before I go any further, and I'm going to shut up in a minute, that one of the biggest joys for me when the deck arrived was opening it up, because you've got the wonderful drawer on here. And what I love about it, and I'm sorry if it sounds silly, sometimes it's quite, the friction on it makes it is like you are sort of breaking open into a mummy's tomb. And
yes,
people that haven't seen it, you get confronted with the mummy in the sarcophagus, which is the wonderful guidebook, and it is a wonderful guidebook.
Yes,
and it opens up this way, which is really clever thinking.
It's incredible.
Thank you. I was kind of inspired by the old field notes, like the archaeologist was just like writing notes. I don't know, like sometimes they do like left and right flip-flop, but yeah. I put it right back there because I was like, I don't think I can claim a lot of credit.
Well, okay. And I will also say, Jamie got hers before me, and she was very nice. And she's like going, I'm not going to say much, except she has done everything right with this deck.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so I'm here to say, if anybody tries to come for you, they're going to have to go through me, because I mean, I can't find any faults with this, and I'm pretty critical, but it's like, yeah, both Jamie and I were like going, this is like, it shuffles like a dream. It's not too thin. It's, it's like, so please know, because I remember when we were talking about the first edition, you made some adjustments with the second edition.
Oh yeah.
You do not. There are no adjustments that I think you need to make with this deck.
Thank you.
Absolutely perfect the way it is.
Oh, thank you, everyone. Yeah, I am. I would say it's mostly 99% divinely guided. I just learned how to like learn work with my intuition and listen to guidance instead of really fight it with my ego. I'm not sure if you guys like experience this in the past. I remember when I was a kid, there's always a voice telling me like, oh, just choose, for the multiple like choices, choose C. And I was like, no, I mean, calculated, it should be B. And then of course it's supposed to be C. I was like, oh. So this time I really like try to calm down that voice that's telling me to do things otherwise. Thank you.
I mean, yeah.
Even everything. Just everything. It's
and it doesn't fall out. I mean, it's glorious. It's a pleasure to open, which is for me a big deal. I mean, come on.
Even is it Coptic jars in there?
Yeah. Initially I was thinking put them outside, and then I was like, wait, it's supposed to be inside of the sarcophagus. So
I love it. Absolutely love it. It brought me great joy opening up that deck.
Thank you.
Well, and there's beautiful gold details throughout the cards and the box. So it's like, yeah.
Let's show the backs off. So we have a double scarab.
Yeah, so like, because I know a lot of readers, they do reversal, so I was like, again, just trying to accommodate as much as I could.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I have to say, one of the things I actually love about this is when you do that, isn't that pretty?
Yeah, I love their stripes.
Yeah,
it's like Tutankhamun's headdress, isn't it? That death mask has got that blue and gold stripes on it. So there we go. You can even kind of pretend to be a pharaoh.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about favorite cards, because of course there's going to be favorite cards, or there's cards that we look to in. Now we all obviously love the deck, but we have to find some there. So Emma, I'm going to ask you, do you have a favorite card?
I
That's a difficult difficult question, isn't it?
That's so difficult. Well, I will have to say, like, I don't have a favorite card. I just appreciate every single vision that actually came to me. Yeah, I don't have a favorite. It's
It's
so
fine. You're the only person in the world that can say that. You know that.
I have to say, I have to shout out to Thoth, because I have him appears twice more than other gods and goddesses, because I think he helps a lot. I think the mythology around this personnel is really interesting. Some people even say like he is actually just a representation of 13 people from Atlantis.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting, and he was giving at least humanity at that time granted a lot of knowledge and technologies and a lot of teachings. He represents all this incredible like knowledge and time. So I was like, And they were even saying there's like ancient texts talk about he can choose which body to incarnate, like he can continue his life. Like he could strike his soul if this physical body is done, and he can just like go to the next one. There's like a hall where, I don't know, I guess it's a lab he has. He can do that. I was like, whoa. Feels like Dalai Lama type of, but like more advanced, because he can choose which body. But for Dalai Lama, it's like this Dalai Lama will reincarnate into another kid. Once this one is gone, like this one's physical body's job is done, you will choose the next body and tell people the clue. It was just fascinating.
I was going to ask, actually, sort of how much research did you do on the Egyptian pantheon? I mean, it's quite a big pantheon. For me, it's quite a confusing pantheon. But how much sort of time, what's the time scale on that one to do all the research?
Yeah, I think I bought like those mid-sized bookshelf in Target. I think I bought that much book to fill up the whole shelf. And I think the most helpful, oh gosh, I don't have the book with me. Actually, it's so there's actually there's a lot of really useful books on Amazon about like explaining their pantheons. I have to admit, it's very, very hard. It's confusing because first of all, they have like they have different kingdoms and different times, and there's like a new kingdom, like the old kingdom, and over time they switch deity worship, and sometimes and it could be really confusing because some deity could be kind of like it's like it's like a negative. Sorry, I was like, what is the word? It could be negative, but later turns out like it becomes, like beneficial to the people. It's very interesting. But I think I was just keep reading, and somehow there's always like a voice guiding me, like, oh, you should just go check out this book. And also at the time I was trying to kind of like really channel, just not really kind of suspend my logic mind and just really try to channel that time as much as I could. I do have to say this deck carries a very transformative energy. I think if dream vision is that the moment that, the third eye is open and you start to see a different realm, like different worlds, that's this one is about really transforming yourself and kind of transcend time and space and really see a soul's evolution as a whole, instead of like, oh, we're just this personality right now. I do think that these arts, it's very interesting to actually hear a lot of people's feedback. Oh, but mostly positive. Garrett, don't worry, like mostly positive. They're like, oh, I think the way they can feel and they can resonate on the frequency of the imageries reflects. That's something I'm so happy that I didn't let everybody down. I was like, okay, yeah. I think I wasn't imagining it because people can feel it,
Well, and
hello to those people. So I'm just saying hello to a few people popping in, and thank you for all your lovely comments. Do keep them coming in, please. Sorry, Gerald.
No, I was just Nancy Paper Moon Tarot said, do all deck creators hear voices or just all artists?
Yeah.
I personally think all artists, right? Because like, okay, not of course, some artists, I think they create art from their brain and experience and training. I'm more like in the school of like, I'm just listening to my intuition and hear voices and trying to journey and do a lot of dream work. And because I'm also a spirit releasement practitioner, so I do a lot of journey. Like part of my job besides art is, to meditate and go to the middle kingdom. Sure. If you know shamanism, it's a type of shamanism. Yeah. So I deal with a lot of spirits that's not really in this world. So I guess like for me, but I do think a lot of artists, they knowingly or not knowingly, they are channeling, including scientists too.
I agree. I think artist elevates the work to a level of knowing and feeling and sensing it and seeing the rhythm and music about it and then elevating that and putting it together. So I completely agree. Yeah, inspiration is a voice.
Yeah.
And I notice some artists, even because I sometimes like watching video just on YouTube, seeing other artists' creative process. I feel like maybe they didn't know, but at the moment, they definitely kind of let go the control of their body, and they're kind of very attuned with some kind of frequency, and then they just let like I don't know how to describe it. The free flow of the energy and the lines that they draw, it just feels has so much power and divine energies within it.
Very true.
Yeah,
it's very true.
I've got a card. Gerald, do you have a favorite card out of all of them? Can I talk about mine? Can I have a think about it?
Which card is my favorite? But I do have one. But go ahead.
Go on, let's reveal. Go on, reveal. Have we got to work it out? Give us a clue or something.
Okay. Well, here I'll just show it.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. I love the color schemes of your cards. I've always said this about the Dream Vision ones, is that for me, sorry if it sounds like, you always get the right colors that go together and just give me immense joy and immense balance. So even though that card for me has got a lot of grays in it, it's still very, very beautiful. And I really, truly appreciate every stroke of your pencil that created that, because I can see the detail in it and it's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that is a very interesting card. First, I have to say it's granted, like in my dream. So there's no my creativity here. Credit to the divine, but I was trying to add a little bit my spice in there. I was like, this baby incarnating here, because I was like, At the time I was actually just like researching thoughts, so I was like, oh, whoa, he can actually reborn into a new body. So I was trying to portray that, like the moment of the blessing of the sun, which is Horus. Yeah. Actually, I think sun gives us life, right? It grants us life. Without sun, there's nothing. It's all darkness. Nothing's going to grow, and we're going to be lack of vitamin D, and everybody will be so depressed and sad. So the sun is so important. So that moment is that the sun grant the life to the soul, and the soul is trying to incarnate. And the stripe, I was just trying to draw. I mean, I saw it. It feels like a DNA to me, like in that dream. I just don't know what it is, but that form, it's cross culture, right? Like a lot of in the ancient painting, there was like 2 snakes everywhere. You can see in Asia, in Egypt, in Europe, and in North America, like everywhere. So I was like, oh, that's a very symbolic thing that I dreamed of. I have a feeling it's a DNA. That's what they were trying to say.
And what I appreciate is you know, the book has a little illustration, but it also has a like a title or something of the piece. And this is the moment of incarnation. And I'm like going, oh, and it's called initiation. I like that. It really sets.
Yeah, I almost feel like we're initiated into this new journey, you know, like I believe our souls are infinite. I believe like there's no actual age. Well, I mean, there are age for our physical body that we have right now, but there's no age for our soul.
Yeah.
So I was like, every new life is a new journey. Like we got initiated into this new trip, you know, like this new, I don't know, like physical ritual, like on this planet. We can be incarnated like into other planets too, I think. I believe.
Absolutely.
There's definitely alien lives. So yeah. Anyway, sorry.
And I think that also comes in your artwork as well, especially the dream visions as well. There was that other, you know, you're wonderful at creating this other, how can I describe it? No, I don't want to call it alien kind of style, but just this kind of newborn, kind of slightly human-esque style.
Yeah.
And it fits so well again with the Egyptian theme as well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I would say like it's more like a soul form, you know, because and also they're inspired by my third guys, which they have they have big head, and they communicate with actually the frequencies from their chest, so they don't really have a mouth. And then I was like, wow, that's actually very interesting. I guess that's part of the reason why there's so many misunderstanding in this world, because we share a different culture, language, and we use mouth to like trying to communicate. But a lot of things are actually exist on different frequencies that can't really be described by language. So was like, oh yeah, like for dream vision is more collaboration with them, and a lot of characters I model after them, but I was trying to draw just the soul, the pure form of that and the emotion of it, instead of like I guess also it's my style. It's like I'm trying to be abstract. I'm not trying to
right.
But Pisces moon is like, nah, just forget about those details.
What's yours, Richie?
Well, this one, I firstly fell in love. Well, let's show you. It's the Hermit card, and I love this because it's the first time I've seen a Hermit card really that puts the Hermit into a landscape that isn't up close, and you just got this wonderful little character walking over the sand dunes with a light. And you don't really know what the Hermit looks like. And I love the fact that you can journey, you can do that path work if you wanted to. I like the fact that although it's a dark card and there's a lantern there, a light with there, you've also got this very bright sky. You get this idea that they are out in the wilderness, but they're very content out in that wilderness, and almost you don't want to disturb them in many ways, because it's so the solitude is so special and so precious there. And I love the fact that it's just very, very small. It reminds me very much of the moon card in Dream Visions, where you just have that tiny, tiny moon in a beautiful sky.
All talking about the moon. Gosh. It's like recently I noticed, sorry, I sidetracked, but yeah, the moon is a very interesting card. I have to say this Hermit came to my subconscious. I had, so TMI, because I do past life retrieval, so I did a lot for myself. So if people are like, what is she talking about? I'm talking about my past lives. But I was a really old man, like I think was in Syria kind of like region. So my career was very interesting. I was carrying a book and wandering like in the sand and from town to town. If someone's passing away, I will just read some kind of holy text to comfort the soul before they passed on. So that was my career, which is very interesting. So when I was like thinking about Hermit card, somehow I just thought about that person. It was really quiet because, when you do introspections and soul searching, it's just definitely there's nothing. You need to be in a state that's quiet, and also
Yes.
the vastness of your subconscious is almost feel like an endless desert that you just go, but you have this light can guide you, and you just have to venture in that kind of solitude and the steep journey by yourself. And hopefully you gain a lot of I don't know, like truth and knowledge from within. For some reason, like when I was drawing it, I was thinking about that past self. I was like, huh. So he walked on the sand a lot. That's all I remember, not really a lot of details. And I saw like, there were people actually live very close to the edge of the desert at the time. So they were celebrating, have bonfires and dancing. It was really fun. But the thing is, like, people back then have this type of calmness, and their life is just so fascinating back then.
Yeah.
So I was like, relate to that past. I was like, oh, because the thing is, I don't. Because I usually match a deity with the card, but for only few of them, I was like, I don't want it to be anybody. I wanted to, because it could be anyone, because we can all do it. So for this one, I think also Virgo is all about the people, So I was like, people can see themselves.
You've got the little constellations on the cards as well, because that's a really lovely touch. And I've just put the card away, so that's not helpful.
Yeah, like right there, Richie.
Yeah, that's right. So just loving it. That little touch in there, it's beautiful.
Yeah, because I was hoping, I do believe those patterns have a lot power to kind of influence our subconscious. That's why, like, astrology, I think it's a science. Okay, people can agree or not, but I think astrology is a really fascinating science, and it's very interesting. So I was like, I wanted to put the constellation there. So it's more like an energetic stamp on the card. If I hope it will enhance the energy of our work.
Really do. I'm just going to put up a few cards that people have talked about and show those. So Nancy's said the Temperance is awesome. Yeah.
Nancy, thank you. Like, actually, it's my saddle favorite. I personally like this a lot, but I was like, oh, let me do not play favor.
It's good.
Yeah, I love this guy. So he's actually a twin deity, because it's Upper Nile and Lower Nile. Very interesting. And he's a male god, but he has like female boobs, because they believe the Nile River bring all of the abundance to this country. So everybody think he has a female body, but he is a male god. And I love this, because I think in those it was called art, and in Rider Waite it was temperance.
Yeah.
But for me, I wanted to have like a little bit touch of the ancient Egyptian. So I was like, I wanted to represent the flow of the Nile. It's the Nile.
And it does. It's beautiful. Water.
And I want to also share, in the guidebook, you give a comparison from the Thoth to the to this deck.
Yes,
so that's extremely helpful.
It is.
So.
I also highlighted the changes, so people will know like which one I changed.
See people. There's no reason to complain about this deck. If you don't like it, shut your mouth. Don't buy it.
Thank you. I was like, oh my! I think my Asian soul came out like, oh, I need to highlight this. I need to put a side note.
I think that's a very nice thing, and So.
Jonathan said his favorite is the star card. So those people that haven't seen the deck, here's your opportunity to look at it. It has got gold writing. Hopefully, my camera is flaring a little bit. So beautiful.
Yeah. Well, let me put that card out. Actually, for that card, I'm sure if you like flip through the card, you would notice like a lot of majority of them are symmetrical because I want to reflect on that culture because they like symmetrical compositions. But for the star, it's different. First of all, we're talking about Aquarius, the rebel, and do not want to follow the rules, right? And also, this card actually came to me very early on. Okay, here. So I don't know. I think I was meditating on Goddess Newit because I think, she's a really fascinating character. Across culture, we all, have this character for the sky. But I don't know, the way how ancient Egyptian portrayed her was just so fascinating. She's blue, have stars all around her body. I was trying to draw like a moment that she's actually, kind of guiding and helping the soul to ascend. Yes, I also I just think it's so it's so fashionable, like a goddess look like that. Because usually, okay, sorry, Isis, I love you too. But the thing is like she is like pretty much just naked. I'm just I'm just like wearing stars. I was like,
yeah.
Talking about that. And so,
love it. Now, I need to talk. There's a bit of an elephant in the room. I need to talk to you about something because you confused me.
Oh.
Ooh.
I have 2 cards that are the same here.
Sorry.
No, I love it. I was like, you've given me 2 tower cards and we have 2 different
extra
themes,
transformations. Sorry, people.
I was like, what is it, like my deck has suddenly got 2 tower cards? What's that telling me? Because I don't read the small print on Kickstarters anymore.
Here.
So you have this was this just for Kickstarter, the first edition, but it's going to be in there. So there are, I'm going to call them the UFOs. Can I call them flying saucer cards? I don't know what you want to call them. And then we have another version of it, which is, and help me out here with the deity on that.
Oh, yes, a segment. It's the lioness goddess. So later on in the New Kingdom, actually, people starting to worship her for, safe childbirth, because she's a lioness. But she, she carries this fearless character. People also calling her for protection. Initially, I was thinking, oh, the goddess of fire. But, they have the tamed version, which is the goddess of fire, which is the cat. Oh, gosh, see? My brain just blocked on her name. Maybe Sekhmet's like power is too strong right now. So she's like before, like cats are domestic felines. So she's more like the raw and the really powerful version of the lioness. So I was thinking, like she's really matches the vibe. And plus, okay, so let me explain why there are 2 cards. So initially my intuition was like, oh yeah, I want to draw something about alien. Not saying I do not think ancient Egyptians are aliens, but I do think they have communications. It's not like, oh, aliens came and grant them all those amazing things. No. I think they were friends, or at least at the time they were like documentations, of that. So I was just purely fascinated about this like mystery. So I was like, oh, what if like I draw alien saucers there? But there's no way I'm claiming that, oh, this ancient culture is from, out of the world. It's not that. But later on, when I just started to wrap up everything, I just feel like I was like, wait, I have no place for Sekhmet, but she's kind of important. And then I was like, everything relates to their pantheon, but besides this card, it's kind of out of nowhere. But it's like something I think is really fun. It's fun idea to play with. So my decision was like, I get rid of that card, but I do want to share with my Kickstarter backers because, you guys make this deck possible. So there's just like a fun addition there, but it's It's not the final card. It's not going to be official.
It's not enough.
Yeah.
So it's all.
So this will only be in the Kickstarter version.
Yes.
Once they're sold out.
I still have some left. Okay, so here's about like ordering cards 101. It's like I was making assumptions of when it comes like how much I can order, and you can only order like 1,000 or 1,500. Like there's no like numbers in between. So I still have some left. If people want that card, it's in my Etsy store, but it will be discontinued because it's not like. Yes, thank you. Flashing hands.
There we go. So the link's there. I believe that will take you to your Etsy shop.
Thank you. Yeah. Segment is the final official version of that, tied the whole theme. But yeah, I thought it was just interesting to put that, initial thought there.
I love it. I love it. Can we talk minors?
Oh, yes, please.
Because I love how you've designed these. I don't kind of know how to describe the style. Are they pippish? Are they elements of RWS? Are they slightly Marseillais? How would you describe your minor arcana? Let's just go there, because there's elements of everything, I think, in there.
Yeah, so the minors are interesting. Some of you, if you kind of follow my journey, know I used to be a designer for decades, actually. So I want to bring in that element of design, like really look into compositions and contrasts and the colors. And also, the reason why I have a lot of white in there is because I was like looking at all the ancient tombs, and also a lot of notes from the people who actually just discovered all those tombs. They're saying there's so many white paints on the wall. It's not like the sand color. It's actually white. They use everything white as the background. That's why you see a lot of white, just trying to kind of reflect that part of the preference, like when it comes to their art. So yeah, I'm trying to tell stories with colors and elements.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also, trying to not overcomplicate those minors, because they, hierarchically, they're not like as complicated as the majors. So yeah, I actually I would say they're very design-ish. Each of them is more like a poster trying to portray that energy. Oh my God, I love both of them. I love the 8 and also the 10. It's so cool. Actually, the Flower of Life pattern came to me at the last. I was actually already wrapping up. I already submitted my file. Then I heard a voice, because it's very interesting. By the end of the production, I experienced a lot of obstacles. It feels odd. It's like something is trying to stop me from actually printed, and I had no idea why. So of course, I just had to work with the printer like back and forth 3 times with the file. And later on I realized it's like, yeah, I'm missing the pattern. I was like, okay, I'm missing the pattern. I like that 5 and the ace too. The ace is like the arrow's trying to pierce through, and that 5. It's very
This is like one of my favorites. We both bought it, and I love again. This just says how much you have thought things through. That you have that heart shape that is synonymous with the RWS 3 of Swords, but it's hidden in there as well. I just love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that card.
You might have done this one already, but that's.
Oh wow! So talking about all the 5. Oh whoa, the 10. Yeah. It's this overwhelming emotions that just flow out of. I was thinking about the chakra systems. It's funny. Lately, I learned from tantric system, there are actually 10 chakras. I was like, huh. I was actually drawing like 10 cups on the card, thinking about like they could be just chakra energies flow, right? If you have this energy flowing out of you, so it fills you with overwhelming happiness, emotions, and whatever have you. But yeah, all this. I love the 6, and I feel like. I like that both of you are just like holding the card. I'm just trying to explain.
I'm having a lovely time with showing cards off. It's a joy.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, probably because I have I'm very selfish. Like, I'm Aquarius sun, so I love Aquarius. So I was trying to portray this woman. It's like I have everything under my control. And I have all of the intelligence and experiences. I'm going to the direction I want to head to. Like it's that. I was trying, like, yeah, because most of the minors you don't see people. This one is like I get a little bit selfish. Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is exactly how I felt by the end of 2023. Everything just it's like all of the information just come in and all concentrated like at your hands. It's very hard to handle.
Yep.
Yeah, I I love this card so much. I didn't really feel much until like I saw it like in person. I was like, ooh.
Yeah,
like the red and the gold comes together.
It does.
It really
does.
It's
lovely shape, and there's nothing. I like your use of color again from Dream Visions. Is that you have these very gorgeous, rich colors, and then not in this deck necessarily, but then you put that vibrant pink of is it Strength card? Yep. I seem to remember in the Dream Vision with the pink hair. It really makes how to use color and shade to make that.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, for all the god and goddesses and apprentice and
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're Gerald, I think you noticed they're symmetrical. So if the apprentice is facing left and the warrior will be facing right, they're going to look at each other, or if they're facing forward, they will face forward together. Yes. And the god and goddess is also facing each other. But the fire is not like very generic, because I feel like that's the fire energy. Like you can't really, it's not like a stable form. So yeah, so they're the same. They're mirroring each other. Oh yes, yeah.
Look at those.
It's good, and in a reading that'll make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
if that's something that you pay attention to.
Yeah. Yeah, and also the masculine energy is on the left-hand side and feminine is on the right. So
yeah, it's good.
I'm going to have to lay them all out again and have a good look now. That's tomorrow sorted now. I'm going to play lining up the tarot cards and who's talking to who. But again, as you say, Gerald, that'd be incredibly powerful to be getting those and working with. And in many ways, it's almost like a cartoon strip sometimes, when you could lay out some of the characters and see who's facing left, who's facing right. I know Gerald and I have spoken a lot about looking to the left, looking to the right. So this deck is going to be incredibly. I don't know. Is there a particular thought with Egyptian artwork as to which way they face was important, or was it just how things happen to fit onto the wall?
It's very interesting. So of course, my knowledge is very limited. It's from my reading. So the way how they write, which I think it makes sense, they write from the edge towards to the center. The most important, usually it's the pharaoh's name or something really important. So they write from two sides. But when you think about it, actually they're activating both sides of both hemispheres of human brain, which makes sense, because right now I think we're heavily activated on one side and not really taking care of the other side. So so far that I know, I think it really depends on the content. Like there are different ways. They sometimes write it vertically, and they sometimes write it like horizontally. It's a work of art. So I don't really know, but yeah, they did talk about directions, and like gods can represent, let's say Horus, of course, represents the rising sun, and it's very interesting. They divided the day in different parts. So Horus will represent the morning sun, and in the middle it will be Ra. So it's really fascinating. I think they're just I think it pays so much attention to nature, and they kind of personify that energy and work closely with the earth. And also I noticed one thing that was really fascinating. The earth was a male god to them. Of course, I don't think they're sexist. I do think the time, and also maybe it's part of the reason why it's very hard for us to understand them, because they have completely different understanding of masculinity and femininity. And also I know, fun fact, that they really they think women are actually good at management. So woman was like giving all the rights to manage the land and make plans, and I was like, oh, whoa. Where it seems like a masculine trait right now, right? Like there's like, oh yeah, men are better, like doing this and that, but like back then they let women do that. It's really fascinating. But I do think it was a really balanced life, and think about how they were trying to really balance the energy in pantheon, and also in their life too. A woman has like back then they owned property. Sorry, it sounds like a crazy feminist, but it was just saying, like, men start taking leadership, so of course like go out, hunt, and like do a lot of labor and stuff, but women are the actual owners of the like the home, and manage stock and like resources. Sounds pretty cool.
Yes.
I've got a fascinating Egyptian. This is the only fact I know about Egyptians, and I only learned it a couple of months ago when I went to an exhibition, and this blew my mind. Is that the Egyptian word for cat? Anyone? Meow. So that's why we say cats go meow, because that's the ancient Egyptian word for cat. Isn't that brilliant?
Yeah, I mean, it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense.
I love it.
It's the only Egyptian fact I can tell you. I'm sorry about that, but
it's a good one now.
That's going to get you a bit of a strange word. Why cats went meow? So there you go. Now we know it's ancient Egyptian.
Yeah.
Jonathan's saying about he likes to lay the deck out in order. And Chris is here. Hello, Chris. Good to see you here, my friend. And Chris also says that he likes to lay a good grid out and have a look at the rows going through the columns for elements of fire, earth, water, and air. We have a question in from Nancy. So wondering for Emma about people, whether people need to understand Egyptian gods, etc., to use your deck. She said, I don't, but how important to you is it that people know all the background?
So it is my hope that people don't have to know anything to read the card, but I do want to kind of cover a little bit the interesting history in the guidebook. If people are interested in reading that, what I'm trying to do is like make it available as much as I could, like just so trying to draw the imageries without requiring any knowledge about ancient Egyptian. So definitely it's a deck for everyone. What I'm trying to do, still like the previous card, is portray this feeling or this power that emanating from that card, instead of really heavily focusing on the knowledge side, which is the logic mind. So yeah, I hope people don't feel like stressed out, like feel like they need to know. But I I'm hoping this could be a way to invite people to actually know, like, oh, what it is, what is this God? And I wonder, yeah. So
it's all in here as well. Read the
and
guidebook.
and I'm no way, like, I'm not I'm not Egyptologist, so I don't know everything. This is just through my research, reading a lot of helpful books available. Oh,
That's just weird. I'm sorry, that's a bit weird.
Well, and I do think this is one of those things that the guidebook is going to be very helpful, because you do have information about the deity pictured. Then you have keywords. You also give us relation to astrology. And then you give us an upright and a reverse meaning. So.
Yeah, I wrote so much. I was trying so hard to jam everything in those tiny books. I was like, oh, how is that even possible? Actually, I'm working on a bigger version of the guidebook.
Love that. Yes, please.
Yeah, I need to. I think I need to. Some of the writings I deleted them. I think I should add them back. And also, I was thinking, I never really ventured into like creating spreads, but I think it will be very interesting. I know it's like not a big demand, so I'm trying to like see if I can produce it in-house. So yeah, I do think I'm hoping this is a really fun object to introduce people to a different way of living, and maybe intrigue them to look into like the ancients a little bit more, like our history as humanity, like we had a totally different path and different way of thinking. Just appreciate the varieties of cultures as well. Definitely, yeah, like that. And instead of like really give everyone stress.
Sarah's made a lovely point. This deck definitely demands slowing down. When I did my interview spread, it was like a time vortex I got sucked into. This is a very serious, deep deck that wants to be handled, wants to handle deeper inquirers.
Yes.
I like that.
I noticed that. I feel like the deck was really trying to teach me a lesson. I remember I was trying to push it out in April, because I talked to one of my best friends and, astrology. I was like, oh, this is a good timing. And the deck's like, no. And then I got sick, like out of blue. I was like, oh, okay. Or maybe next time. And then I found this time in, wait, was that July? Was it July, right? I think it was September, sorry. I wanted to release it. So everything was scheduled, supposed to like be done, and for some reason there's only teeny tiny things that can go wrong, even for the shipping, and everybody's slow. Sorry. I have Mars in Sagittarius, so everybody can feel that energy. I was like, go right now, like I need to finish. And I feel like the deck is like, no, that's not my style. You need to respect the timing. Yeah, I had a lot of stress because people keep asking where's the cards. I was like, oh gosh. I have a friend actually brought the card back to Egypt, went through a priest initiation with her, and she like kind of brought the deck to went through their traditional rituals in the temple.
Wow.
So I think that's the energy. I think the energy people can feel. I feel like, because she was like, oh, I'm setting intention to bless all the cards, and have everybody host the cards can feel the blessing. I think it works. I think the rituals energy did transfer to
And that's on your Instagram, isn't it? I think there's photos. Is it on Instagram?
Oh, yes.
But so if you want to go and have a look at that, do follow Emma on social media, because I remember you posting that your cards have come home. You said, I think something.
Yeah, it makes me tear up. I was like, I wanted to go, but I can't. I kind of stuck here because of visa thing. But I was like, I don't know how it felt, how I feel. I just feel this overwhelming emotion like radiate from my heart. And I'm so happy that it was back. And it's so oddly, I don't know, the color theme oddly match the scenery there. She sent me a lot of photos. I was like, huh, it is kind of like that. It is
I
that
love
color.
that. Oh, well, would you imagine that? Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I'm not sure if people noticed, actually, I did not include pharaohs because I think they're a human being. So this is more like Dream of the Deity, which is more, I would say, upper realm deities, the god and goddesses beyond human. So that's why I did not like include pharaoh.
So Emma, are you hinting there's going to be an expansion pack?
Oh, expansion pack.
Wait.
Carmen and Ramesses. Go on.
Wait. We want an expanded guidebook first.
Okay.
I mean, I'll put, because some
we're
people
not demanding too much, are we? You know?
Yeah. But again, remember, Emma,
Yeah.
you didn't. I mean, everything with this deck is spot on. Don't listen to anybody if they tell you, "Oh, you should have done that. You should have done that." No. So it's really, really good.
Thank you.
It's a dream shuffler, because if they do, Jamie and I will come for them.
We will. We'll all come up, combine together. I'm just going to quickly say hello to a few more people that are joining us. Sorry if I've missed you. Peter's here. Hello, Peter. And Garnet McCleary Price from West Dulwich. Hello. Welcome. And anyone else I've missed off, I'm sorry, but welcome to this wonderful chat. We're about to do a reading, aren't we, for the collective in a moment. So I need to spend some time shuffling. I'm just going to say that.
Yes.
So
can I bring up a couple of things?
Of course.
Yes, please.
8 is oftentimes would be related to what we would see as strength.
Mm-hmm.
No, as justice.
Mm-hmm.
And 11 is strength. So don't freak out about that.
Yeah, I did receive questions about that.
I mean, the Hanged Mummy. Come on brand. Okay.
Yeah, I love that card so much. Actually, it's a lady's sarcophagus I found. Oh, that's one of the cards that does not associate with any deity. Is on like a really old vintage book I found in store. Yeah, I saw it's actually just a random lady from Egypt. Nobody knows what this, like this sarcophagus for. Nobody has her identity. But I was like, your sarcophagus looks so beautiful. I'm just gonna, I don't know, I relate to that lady a lot. So like I'm just gonna draw that there. Yeah, and just shout out to the ancient craftsmen make that beautiful sarcophagus.
I was going to ask, and I don't know whereabouts you're living now and how much access. Did you do it all online, or did you go and visit any Egyptian exhibitions or anything at all that was local?
No, I did not. So it was more from the book and my personal journeying. It's very fascinating because I have some visa thing, which is kind of hard to solve. So not bore everybody with like weird, passport details, but it's just like I'm kind of limited when it comes to where I go internationally. So yeah, I didn't get a chance to go. A lot of them, but I don't think it can stop me from, kind of appreciating them. So there's a lot of resources on YouTube, and people literally like take touring videos of Cairo's largest museum. Like they have all the collections there. Mm-hmm. Also, I did journey work a lot, so I was, like I can't bring the physical body there, but who can stop my mind? So, yeah, definitely daily meditation. Diligently, like I have to. to make sure I have the stabilize the connection, and also like sometimes just travel back in time and really trying to see what's going on. Although everything is really, really blurry, like a dream, but yeah, I tried to kind of like draw the feelings I got. Yeah.
I love that.
Just a thought while I'm shuffling.
Yes.
Are you going to have a rest, or do you now have another project in the pipeline?
Okay, so Jared, you're so funny. Okay, so it's just a thought. It's just an idea. It hasn't matured yet, but I think I want to venture to the Oracle deck world. So next one will be Oracle cards. I think I will work closely with my guides, and also trying to channel more messages besides just imageries, and maybe like writing guidance and stuff. So far, there are many candidates. It's very fascinating. After this, finishing this deck, I feel like I'm being pushed. I'm pushed by the deities to look into Hinduism. It's really interesting experience. Maybe I can explain the next, like, because we're running out of time. But I think they want me to really like venture there, and I have a subtle feeling like in the ancient time they were closely communicating to each other, because I remember they said there's like a cave in America. Well, of course it's a mystery now. The country closed down, but they found a cave that have a Hindu deities and the ancient Egyptian god and goddesses. Like their statues, artistries, and a lot of artifacts, and a lot of Asian stuff too, like from ancient China. I was like, I wonder if back then everybody like have a different way of telecommunicate each other. So I'm really intrigued by all those feminine deities from ancient Hinduism as one idea, and the other one I think I was like really fascinated by the animal kingdom when I was a kid. I remember I was chasing dragonflies and trying to catch fish when I was a kid. I was really blessed. I wasn't born during the time of social media, so there was really nothing for me besides there's like a river by my grandma's house. But later on I just lost a connection because live in the big city trying to work in tech. So lately I feel like that self has come back to me. So I'm thinking something relates to animal spirit will be really interesting. So that's that. And of course, I'm not going to be like, oh, this is done. I'm not going to, because I know something haven't finished. I think, oh, whoa, this is really so golden. I do need to, I think I owe everyone a little bit like more when it comes to the guidebook, a bigger one that's, easy to read. Because this one, I just trying to shove everything inside of the box as part of the work. But yeah.
And that being said, Emma, there is nothing wrong with this guidebook. Okay, I want to be very, very clear. There's nothing wrong with this guidebook. There's nothing wrong with this box. There's nothing wrong with this deck. And people, stop taking yourself so seriously and create your own deck if you don't like something that Emma has done. Because I actually heard, Richie, I don't know about you, but I heard like 4 or 5 ideas there for next projects.
Yeah.
We've got an Emma animal deck. We've got Hinduism, and then there's the tarot, and then the oracle of that. Then there's the guidebook.
Oh my God.
No pressure.
Do you know what I'm going to say? Be still my beating credit card. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, one thing I hope is that, okay, sorry, I know I sidetracked, but what I want to give out is that I want to manifest a divine vision for everyone. So it's not I know, like, I'm creating a product, I'm actually selling it.
Yes.
Because I'm kind of like an independent artist right now. I say my only source of income, but my genuine hope is to not only just, oh, there, look at my art, but collectively, because I know tarot has this tremendous power, can reach to a lot of people, can heal. I want to channel that energy and kind of manifest in a form that's tangible, so we can all awaken to our inner truth and also to heal together. Because I do energy work for people, but one-on-one, I do know, like, it's very limiting when it comes to that.
Sure.
Just heal one person, and but like I found art has tremendous healing power. Those imageries, and also it can be personalized to like everyone's need. It's not just like, oh yeah, you have to come talk to me, but like you can work with this. Yeah, so I'm hoping I can channel the pure divine energy from the pure positive source for everyone. Just
you have done that through these decks. You have done that through these decks, and I am glad to see you continuing to want to have that connection, because
thank you. I quit my job and I get rid of my insurance for this,
Okay.
I don't have an insurance. Well, hopefully. I was like, maybe divine will take care of me, like, if I do this. Like, how about we make a deal? Hope everything is good.
Absolutely. What you put in, it comes out, doesn't it? I'm just going to catch up with a few comments before we kind of wind this one up. Beth was saying about pyramid spreads. I can see them now. Maybe that's already in the guidebook. Perhaps with the new guidebook, the extended guidebook, there'll be more. I don't know. Nancy says, I'm starting a petition to let Emma get to Egypt.
Thank you.
Fund me. We'll
Thank
get
you.
Emma to Egypt.
Did you say you couldn't get a work visa for Egypt? I don't. That's what Beth was asking.
Beth used to work in immigration.
Yeah.
It's funny because my enemy is actually my original country. I think my visa, I have weird, although I do, I reincarnated as Asian, and I was born in the Siberian area, like the northern part of China. But somehow, when it comes to working with their government document, always having trouble. Let me try it again to have like a passport from that country, so I can go wherever I want.
There you go.
I had several attempts last year. It wasn't. I think sometimes it's planetary too, because Saturn was transiting my moon. I think Saturn really wants me to like sit here, do work, no trouble for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Nancy's just throwing her hat into the ring with this one here, going, is there going to be a Lenormand deck in the future?
Oh, that's a good question. So I'm actually not very familiar with that system, but I did see a lot of really fun like expressions from different artists. That's actually a good question. Maybe I should.
Like this one?
Like that one?
Oh,
this one is by Longman Tarot.
Who's that?
Cool.
Other Lenormand decks are available, but yes, that's available
Yeah.
on playing cards. But yeah,
I'm open. I'm really open to it because I feel like there are so many divination systems.
Yeah.
I recently just finished my shamanic training, and they use rocks, and they use like tea leaves. They just pick up whatever on the earth and then start to do divination reading. I was like, this is fascinating. Definitely, I think I want to venture out, like to do a different system. That's for sure. Yeah, so that's a good idea, Nancy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, are we ready to do our cards, and then we'll say our farewells after this? So this is a reading for the collective.
Okay.
I think I forgot to take my 2 tower cards out.
Oh
well.
Good idea.
I'm keeping both of mine in.
I'm keeping both in. I'm that kind of guy.
I am too. That's why we get along, Richie.
Yeah, work with your intuition. They mean slightly different.
Oh, and I like what Beth said. Time to get another needle in your noggin, Emma.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, seriously, my acupuncturist is amazing. Anyways,
I need to do some of this.
talking about needles, like people should guess my card.
Shall we turn them all round together? Is that the best way to do this? Let's
Sure.
do this. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Ah,
Look at that.
Ooh.
wow.
And you've got a reversal there, Emma.
Yeah, so it flew out and turned itself. So you got to respect
That's really
the card.
weird because as I turned this one over, this one jumped out at the same time, and I chose to ignore it. But I went with this
Oh,
one.
yes.
Okay, so we've got Goddess of Fire, Apprentice of Air, so that is the page, isn't it? And
Yes.
what have you got, Gerald, there?
I have the 5 of water.
Does anyone like to go for this one, or would anyone like to open up some interpretations? We're very welcome.
Yeah. I can go first.
Go for it. Okay.
I have a feeling it's the Princess of Air. The reason why she wants to come reverse is because she's actually calling everyone to suspend doubts. I don't know, because I think we have a lot of voices that's criticizing us ourselves internally and having a lot of doubts. Of course, we're talking about collective. I can't be really specific, but she's calling that, maybe find a way to calm those inner voices as criticizing yourself and like trying to kind of dictating your life and really return to your own power and reconnect with your spiritual side of the self. We were talking about like the other side of the brain need to be practiced a little bit, and also the pineal gland, right? I think it's in reverse. It's like just saying that, if you can start to practice. I don't know why she keeps saying like if you like writing, this be my message for somebody, to write, do intuitive writing, let out all of the energy through words. Because she's the ancient script. She actually she was like writing and documenting all the ceremonial rituals and carry all this information on. So I feel like she's also saying like writing has a tremendous healing power for the subconscious. Try it out. Of course, this is a message for whoever feels that, like that rings to their ears. So yeah, that's what I feel.
Lovely. Gerald, did you want to go?
Absolutely. So I have the 5 of water, which is oftentimes about loss. And when I look at this image, we have the water here, then we have it flowing down and down and down. I would say allow that water and your depths, your emotional depths, to be, because they will wash away appropriately. It's not a force. It is an allow, and I would say recognize the process of loss and grieving can be very beautiful. It has a rhythm to it. So pay attention to that rhythm. And get outside and put your feet in the earth. It's a reasonable temperature.
Well, ironically, I was going to say the same. I think this card is about a calling to go out and get in touch with your solar energy. I think it's a calling as well with those lotus flowers to find the joy that's out there, particularly if you're in the January blues and the greys and the coldness of January. There is still joy to be had in a sunny day. There is still joy in a candle flame. There is still joy in there, and the goddess there, the queen, is asking us to support ourselves through that one, and to see the joy that is in the smallest bright things. And that's a nice thought to take into the weekend.
Oh yeah, go out, get some vitamin D.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Emma, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I so love our chats, and I really hope we can get to do it again, and not in 2 years' time.
Thank you.
But let's meet up again and discuss the deck, perhaps in when we're ready. But that'd be lovely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because there is still hours worth of stuff to talk about with this deck. And it is just a joy. If we haven't said so already, it's a beautiful, beautiful creation.
Yes.
I'm just going to show some of the thoughts of people as they say goodbye. But everyone is saying, so is it my favorite kitty goddess? There we go. There's a lot of love for the deck. Beth says, love the reading of that card. Love the card too. Nancy says, creativity born of loss. Love it. And creativity and destruction. Red Wing says, thank you to us all. It's been really interesting and enjoyable. Sarah again says, thank you. Beth says, that was interesting. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us and spending time with us here. Tearing down the old, decrepit, and building the new. Lots of love there. Gerald very kindly has put your website in there again. So there are still copies of this. Do you still have copies of Dream Vision at the moment?
I still have it. I actually only have like one more box left for the Dream Vision. And then I think I will discontinue that and really think about, it's a different story, but last year I found out there were bootleg decks in the market. It's very, very, I think, I know, right? I actually, I went on Temu and I saw the horrific scene of, I just searched how it's just, I feel so sorry for the community. Yeah, I need to reflect on that and think about what to do next for Dream Vision. And also, I think he's been serving the community for 2 years, actually almost 3. So yeah, I got to think about that. And, so yeah, that deck will be discontinued until like notice. I feel like, also give me some pressure to create other decks. I feel like, I've been really rely on my blue friend. Yeah, it's a very interesting card. I also see there's a lot of, I don't know where they got the source, but they got like high resolution of my artwork for some reason. So it's like I think I want to put her to have a little bit rest, because I think she's been with people. It's so yeah, I think I will let her to take some time.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone in chat or who has watched this.
Thank you, everyone.
Really appreciate you being here and supporting us. Please, Emma, thank you so much. Do come again. Gerald, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful weekend, everybody, and take care and see you really, really soon. Bye.
Bye.